We have started now. My first question is, has Kent State, has McMaster's University done their level 1 prep to the likes that Mad City have? Because Mad City just finding advantages at level 1 and using them to either, boost their Olaf way ahead or to deny the enemy Heckram. Do we see any level 1 shenanigans? And it's usually on red side. The invade that we saw them do with the Nidalee on the red bottom buff into blue side's territory is the most common level 1 evade. So it would start, and Olaf is the champion that you would want, and Leona is the support you'd want. So I
Yep.
think McMaster University has the setup to do a late invade, but it looks to me
I
like they're
think
just going
we're
to
going
5
pretty
point.
standard here. Alawi coming late, but making her way to try. So pretty standard 5 point here. I didn't do my due diligence and check out the rosters beforehand, so I am glad to see we have the original Season 1 Kent State roster here, all the same guys together. And that's a good sign for them because that means
It
that they have
is
had that extra. I mean, how long has it been since Season 1?
a couple
The
months.
couple months they've had all that time to continue progressing their teamwork together.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what they're going to bring here for Season 2. Maybe, they're coming for first place.
I
So who
mean,
knows?
I don't even think you're speaking that crazy. This Kent State, I think it's huge. You point out it's the same 5 guys as last season. So these same 5 guys, we can assume have been playing together on this new patch the entire time. So
Yeah.
they have just as much experience as any other organized team on these new items. So they could be far ahead of the pack as far as we know, because we don't know much of the history
Yeah.
of McMaster University. For all we know, this is the first time they put this 5 together. I would hope not, but
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
And I mean we haven't seen Kent State did not play in qualifiers due to placing in top 4 for Season 1. They were invited back,
Hmm.
didn't have to participate in qualifiers. So we might see a whole new Kent State here to what we saw in Season 1.
Yeah, most definitely. And we actually saw that with their blue side first pick, they opted for the Hecarim here for the delivery man. And the delivery man used to be their AD. Remember, Starponer was top, Moosinator was support at one time, so a bit of role swapping. But it just shows the versatility of some of Kent State's
Yeah, if I'm
players.
not mistaken, when Starponer was, came out here and had a little chat with us, if I'm not mistaken, he was newer to the team, gets away there with a little bit of HP left.
Yeah,
So
they
that's
got his
good.
cleanse. He cleansed the ignite early. It was Leona got level 2 and landed hook on Samira. So with an MF in lane, that's always bad news. You gotta watch out for the level 2 and respect the hook. Hook lands, gets cleansed for Starponer. Not the end of the world, but good looks here so far for
Yep.
McMaster.
Yeah. So sorry. What I was gonna say was when we had talked to Starponer, I'm pretty sure the team was fairly new that semester for school. So when we were watching them play, they were kind of finding their bearings, finding their roles, and getting their team synergy together. And now we are seeing, we're gonna witness the outcome of months
Yeah.
of practice together as a 5-man.
That's what we hope, right? And look, try both junglers are doing opposite clears here. They're both going to be at 24 CS at about the same time. Olaf pathing bot to top, Hecarim pathing top to bot. I think this is good for Hecarim because Hecarim does not want to run into Olaf in the middle game, does not want to fight him for a scuttle crab. Olaf just completely smacks anyone in his path once he hits that level 4 faster than any other champ in the game. So if Hecarim can get bot crab, get away with just trading full clears, then he's good with that. As we see a
Whoa,
4-man
what is
collapse
this?
on Kenny, he's going to have to flash. Maybe. Unless he just is... Okay, he does flash. There's no hard CC here. But still respecting the Olaf undertow, if I'm not mistaken, is his
Oh,
Q.
respect to Kenny here with the fancy footwork. Gets away from a 1v4 fucking level 2 gank. My man.
My man. Yeah, pretty good roam up from Red Team to force the flash there on the Rise. We'll have to see if they can punish that. Rise, remember I was talking, needs to hit his farm per minute. So if you can disrupt his farming and tip him off the scale a bit, he can become a relatively useless champion until he gets in the sides and starts pushing. And now the delivery man. Is he going to be pressured by this Olaf? We see they're running into each other on either side of the map. Olaf with one camp advantage, but Hecarim looking to tie that up if he can secure Gromp. He does. And now Olaf retreating to his own jungle. So we've seen much less counter jungling already at the 5-minute mark here in this series than we did last try. We saw tons of counter jungling and trading in our previous series. This game, a bit slower start.
I think what and I'm trying to reflect back on Season 1. We've done a lot of gaming and a lot of tournaments here at One Life to Play since then. But if I'm not mistaken, Kent State is a team who likes to play the early game kind of calm and look for the later team fight engagements. And we might be seeing the same kind of, game plan here is just to play it cool, get our CS, come out of our lanes, either even ahead if possible, but they don't want to leave lane behind.
And here's the 3v3 that gets Olaf Flash to start it. And that's really great for Kent State. I missed who got the crab. Looking at CS, it's actually really hard to tell.
So it
my
looks like it
guess
was a red
Olaf.
side crab based on the minimap.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can look right now. Okay, red side gets crab, so pretty good for Olaf, but them getting his flash is great too because that makes Olaf much less lethal of a champion in the early game without that flash. We see top lane here, totally in control by Ayo. It's Django. This is a 600 plus LP challenger player on Alawi. So not only are you against a challenger, you're against a challenger on a champion that you probably don't see often here.
Yes,
and into the Gragas.
It's showing right now in the CS discrepancy, 49 CS for Alawi and only 18 for Gragas. If I'm Gragas here and I want my team to win, all I'm thinking is, don't die.
That's right, Try. And you're already smarter than many, many top laners, as we see. Leona will get the E in, but gets bopped away by Alistar. My support player tells me, hey, we don't have to ban Leona. If they pick it, we can pick Alistar. I think I'm starting to see why. You can deny the engage on site and protect your Samira here, not to mention her win wall ability.
Yeah, great play there and a great pick for them. So pretty calm here in the waters. Everybody just getting their CS, clearing some vision. We've taken a look here at mid CS that we cannot see right now.
Who would you say, as we see Leona attempting to hook on a Leona, who would you say outscales here? Try.
So I don't actually really know because I'm looking at the comps and I feel like it's pretty close that I don't necessarily have the complete understanding that I need to make that call. Like Ryze, I think could easily outscale here, but as far as Gragas and Alawi goes, I mean, Alawi needs the right setup, but she does scale, correct? So,
yeah, it's tough.
I'm not really sure.
The reason I asked is because I don't think it is so obvious. I think you would tip the scale towards the team with the Ryze on it, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think you're on with that, and I would have to agree. Slow early game is probably good for Kent State, just for that matter. Also, I think Hecarim. Oh, as we see Alawi looking at tower dive, the Gragas is eating turret shots. Will flash forward. This is crazy.
And he gets away,
with
an excellent ult position there. Bops her back.
But that's still super worth for the Alawi. Look at all these minions Gragas is missing. This is super worth for Alawi. But on the bot side of the map, we also saw Olaf taking down Drake. So Red winning on both sides of the map here. Securing that neutral, making Gragas miss minions. It's now 26 to 72 in the top lane. That's a massive farm lead.
That is a massive, massive farm difference.
But Try, I think you were hitting on another good point, and something I agree with as well is Alawi needs the right setup. She needs her situations to be Alawi favored. She can't be skirmishing over walls, chasing. She can't chase MF around too well. She kind of has to be set up and in position, similar to maybe like a Heimerdinger in terms of her playstyle.
Yeah, totally. And like we said, I mean, this is a challenger 600 LP Alawi main. Is it Alawi main?
No, I don't think Alawi main.
But, not really sure what the champion pool for Django is, but if he does have games on Alawi, he knows that as well, and as a challenger player, you would think that he knows when and how he needs to be set up to make plays on her. So, maybe that's not going to be as impactful as if you were to throw, say a plat level player on Alawi who might be making mistakes that a high level, a very high level player would not be making.
That's right. And I want to highlight Ager's flash a second ago was really nice, but wait a second, it's a 2v1 on Olaf, who's just going to square up and swing away. He will trade the Hecarim for his own life. It looked like he was going to go down. He was just standing there swinging.
I can't. That's surprising he got the Hecarim.
2v2 in the bot lane will go in the favor of the Samira Alistar with enough follow-up to probably take down this Leona, as we see the ulti come out from Starpowner and some follow-up damage. Should take out the Leona here. Her W will pop, give her some resist. Counter-X looking for the tank. Starpowner will take down the enemy Leona. That's 2 for 0 on the bot lane. And there was a great one-for-one trade for Olaf to get a kill, but as we see this follow-up, the Leona has nothing to do here but walk away. The damage had already been done. I think it was an Alistar knock-up outside a turret just meant GG for bot lane. And we saw Alistar get MF Splash a second before this play started with a really nice W2 a minion flash on top of the MF, looked for a Q. MF actually read that and was able to flash away in time. So I thought it was a really nice flash from Ager, but still punished on the cooldown being down in that 2v2.
Yeah, well played there. And something I wanted to notice or point out here is you were correct. We didn't look at this before, but Starpwner did take the cleanse like you were predicting he should take. So that's good for them. And, you know, didn't have to use any cooldowns for summoners there. So they're in a great position to try and make another play happen in the bot lane. Honestly, like, right now.
Yeah, I think they can look for a heads-up 2v2, especially if enemy MF is right outside a turret. It's really all on the Alistar unless they have some Hecarim set up.
We see pings on the Olaf top, so they know that Olaf is not here to assist them. Hecarim is bot side, so I think they're going to try and look for something here. But bot side kind of backing off. Get some vision down.
Yeah, they're going to have numbers here because Olaf is on Rift. That early Rift, though, should cash in 4 plates. I wonder where he'll take it. I think you might want to take it to your Alawi lane, who's already up 60 CS. If you can get that turret, you can get Alawi pressuring the tier 2. And the thing about Alawi is you don't really want to gank it with a Hecarim. You would need to send maybe 3-4 members, but then you risk 3 or 4 lives into that Alawi. You need to tag her with Grievous, and you have to respect her E, and then even then if she gets a big ulti, there's so much to play around. So AO Django, I think, will fearlessly be 1v2ing this game at some point, because that is just what you do with Alawi.
Yeah, and at the very least, like,
here comes the dive on the Misfortune. She leaves turret but gets bought back, but here comes the follow-up. Beautiful play by blue side. Kent State punishing the flashless Misfortune. Kill will go over to Alistar, who now has a bounty on his head, but the MF is just free food with that nice Hecarim setup. Here's the answer. It's going to be a Rift mid lane. They're not able to they're not able to one-shot mid turret, so they'll probably still be standing unless they, you know, sit there and really auto it for another like 10 seconds. I think that mid lane will stay. Grog is doing his best to just clean up a Django under turret, looking for the ulti, and there's the slam, and the explosive cask will bop him away to safety. And Alawi says, thank you very much, I'll take your life, and you're stuck at 48 farm for a little bit longer. And that's Django, and that's what we expected, I think.
Yeah. I would say to be at this point and be 1-1 for Gragas is pretty fair to say that, you know, he's going to call that a win. But being so far behind in CS is going to be really risky for them. I don't know if he's really going to have a chance to even catch up this game. It's going to be about the way he utilizes his kit to set up his team.
That's right.
Because he's too far behind.
Exactly, Cheyenne. We see blue team will now sneak away a Drake. It looked like they were just there first, and possible punish opportunity, but I think blue just gets away. So Kent State buying themselves more time in terms of trading Drakes for kills. We see the pressure is coming out from McMaster University, mostly in the top lane. Jungle's still a threat with that Gore Drinker being completed, and we see a mid lane push here that will go ahead and chip down this turret, cashing in on the Herald play here. And breaking mid turret is great for red team here. Opens up the map for them. But I will say Rise is not too sad about that turret going down, because now he can farm kind of safer in between his jungle quadrants, and all Rise wants to do is just CS per minute.
Yeah, and he's keeping up in CS, so, you know, I'm thinking if I'm Rise here, I'm looking for that 300 CS game, and I'm looking to clap some cheeks.
I can't blame you. Multiple members, so we need to track this 3-man unit here. What are they gonna do? I don't think they can contest Crab in time, but will they look to play around their Alawi, possibly dive the Gragas, or suss out this Hecarim out of his top side? Alawi's landing E after E, and look at these tentacle smacks just doing tons of damage. Moosinator in just an awful position in this game. His team is gonna need to bail him out if he wants to win. Now we see both mages have entered the bot lane. This is still good for Rise, I'd say, because now he could just trade in a side lane. Doesn't have to be in the middle of the map.
Yeah, really close farm for these two mages in the mid lane. So, well, I mean, now that I'm looking at it, it's damn even for everybody except for top lane. So we're looking at pretty much the majority of this gold gap coming from strictly the top lane, which realistically is not too bad for Kent State. So we're seeing that they're down 3k gold, but they are matched in dragons. They're up 2 kills, and that gold discrepancy is really only in the top lane.
Here comes Ori with the level 11 shockwave onto Kenny. Not enough to pursue past his phase rush. I believe he procced it and ran away. Otherwise, he would have been dead. So close calls here. I think the Ori at level 11 is a lot stronger. She spikes pretty hard just from that shockwave level.
Yeah, I think he's really trying to just avoid confrontation with anybody he can as he just tries to scale.
And another thing is McMaster is up 2 turrets to 0. So they're Goldie coming in with these turrets. They have top tier 1 down. They have mid tier 1 down as well. So with those 2 turrets opening up the map, should be, look at these 3 Alawi tentacles here. Tough to play around. The delivery man looking to 1v1 the MF. She will have, oh, I'm sorry, that's an Orianna that will have to flash away. Does the Olaf look to answer? He pops his unstoppable will, and he's running down the delivery man, who's kind of just forced the E into him to his death. The E could have maybe gotten him away. Not too sure, but Alawi will take out the Gragas and trade.
Talk about the shutdown.
Yeah, you will take that all day if you're Gragas, but maybe still worth again for Alawi. I like those kills when they're that far up. They're that far up, when you have minions push to tier 2 and die, you don't lose any minions on the way bouncing back. It's going to build up and stack towards you. It's going to eat the enemy's minions on the way.
I just feel like she doesn't really get that much out of killing him, and she gave up, you know, bounty gold as well as some of the pressure that she was applying to them in the top lane. Like during that scenario, like, you know, she's so far ahead that, like, why not suffocate him as much? Like, all she needs to do at this point is CS, harass him off waves, and not let him get, like, let him get as little as she can allow. You get what I'm?
Yeah. And you might even be right, Chad. I bet you Moosinator is calling work just for on the basis of shutdown gold plus what does Alawi actually get from
breathing,
killing Gragas.
like taking her out of that lane there lets him come back to lane and go like, all right, like I'm not just like threatened under my tower for, you know, a little bit.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. It's maybe a close call, but I do like the aggressive 1-for-1 traits here. A lot of it has to do with minions. Some has to do with the fact that you're kind of making a statement of like, I'm going to take one with me no matter how many you send or whatever. And we have ourselves a game. It is fairly close. McMaster's University still ahead in gold, but only about 3k. That is fairly significant at this stage in the game. They'll have to look to convert on this gold lead, but we see a flash coming in from the Rise into the headbutt pulled from Ali into the Rise stun, and that's ConnorX with another kill, and now we see a 2v1, but Blue TP, wait a second, where did they go?
Oh, the Rise
they poured it out. Can Alawi win this? Needs to land an E or a big ult.
Do you have ulti?
Yeah, she does. Holding it. There's the Gore Drinker. There's the E. There's the ulti. Delivery man in a tricky situation. MF ulti over the top. This looks like a red win as Olaf will come in for the double kill. Moosinator forced to just retreat as he is pretty weak. Oh, Seiko running under turret. He can tank for a minute. Thank God. For a red team, that looked like an overdive, but red with full control. The Alawi getting value, TPing into multi-members as her team bleeds away.
So actually only a 2-for-1 there, so not too bad. It looked like that was going to be really, really bad for blue side, but they did, you know, they were able to get away from that and only lose 2 members, so it's like, not too bad, but they're going to lose Tower and Ocean Drake.
And this third Drake is pretty important because they're on soul point, I guess, right? Drake number 2. It's all about the clock that's ticking. That is Ocean Soul. Because, you know, if either team gets that, it's just a massive advantage. You can kind of wipe away that gold lead or vice versa.
Soul on that Alawi is going to look low.
Who already has, so Alawi already has Sterex now. So 2 items already before 20 minutes. We see about 9 CS per minute on the Alawi 2.
She'll be able to endlessly punish a lane if they get Ocean Drake.
For sure. And it's about how Kent State plays around it. When do they send to deal with her? How do they deal with her? Or do they look to play completely away from her? Because that's an option as well.
So as as Gragas is trying to catch up here, he's still down 110 almost CS.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Flame Horizon 320. I gotta say now, I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight, especially after seeing the results, that the matchup is Alawi favored. Alawi just really great into any melee champions. There's no way Gragas would ever burst her out of lane, right?
Yeah.
It's just really tough, so I don't blame Musanir that much, but it's possibly the case that he could have minimized a bit better and
I was thinking he did a good job of minimizing what he could. 2 and 2.
Leona with the E guarantees the Q, guarantees the R, and Delivery Man is gone just by being tagged up by that Leona E. That champion is outrageous. It's a free kill. Do they look to Baron? It's 20 minutes try. You know in our flex games, when we get one kill at 20 minutes and I call Baron, it always ends up in a throw. We'll have to see how
Yeah,
this
and
team
then we
pulls it
flipped
off.
it at 25. Classic.
So it's not a Baron start. But we do see another Leona tag on a Star Punter who's forced to cleanse and flash away. Olaf with the rundown potential. He's a little bit far from his teammates now, and the Rise ulti will scoop them and put them into safety. It could be a peel back to Baron now. The only thing is there's no death timer on the Hecarim. Hecarim is alive, so if they start this, it's a 5v5 start.
Yeah, and Samira looking to pressure mid while they're setting up for Baron.
Another Leona tag. On to Kondark, he's forced out ulti, he's walking away slowly, he gets his soul pulled by the Alawi, that's the focus now. Tentacles are going to go into the blue jungle, and a big shockwave will hit multi-members. Kenny's looking like he's in a tricky situation. Venerated on the Orianna will pick that one up. Kenny's forced to go back to base here, and it could be another Baron look try. It's 21:30 on the clock. One member really low, one member dead. What does red team do? They will look Baron now.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a good Baron call here. Now the members of Kent State are going to have to reset. They're not going to make it in time. I don't even think they're going to threaten. Maybe it looks like, if I'm looking at the mini-map, Hecarim looking to take some camps and get some vision out of bot quadrant for red side.
Now let me talk about what Nick Masters just did. Because Leona E hit Hecarim, they get Baron.
Yeah.
Leona E hits Hecarim, that means Leona Q hits Hecarim, which means R, which means Hecarim dies. Then they get full control of River. It wasn't a Baron take, it was just clear vision, and then they play bushes. Then they get an Alistar face check. They kill Alistar, now it's Baron, just from that Leona E. It's 21 minutes, but they're still looking to play Baron extremely aggressively. That's what the highest level teams do. They play Baron the moment it spawns. Lower level teams just can't manage playing around Baron as cleanly as McMaster just showed us that it's possible to do.
Yeah, that was excellent execution from them. You know, when you talk about like the level of teams, I think it's sometimes that, you know, when everybody is playing in their lanes, it's difficult to get a 5-man team who does not have the synergy together to make a play in the top side from that, because everyone is used to playing solo queue. They want to play selfish. They're not ready to leave their lane at 21 minutes at the right time. They're not grouping to make these plays in the in these quadrants around objectives, unless it's straightforward for them, unless it's a double pick, or unless, you know, it's a free dragon pick because jungler is top. Teams are, you know, they stay in their lane and they try to play for late game, because that's you know, the easiest route as you pick up new legends.
You see a shockwave landing onto Hecarim. Starting to see the weaknesses of this champion pick if it doesn't get ahead. This Hecarim's on Sunder Thornmail at 23 minutes, so shockwave just means he's dead because of proper follow-up from red team. That's McMaster University making a statement in this game 1 of the second series here for LSS Season 2 as we see Alawi in where she belongs, already chipping away. Can basically ignore Gragas damage and hit this turret. This is what Alawi does in a nutshell when you play it right.
Yeah, the pressure is on now. Kent State needs to figure out what they're going to do. This Baron is just taking down their base. Looks like they're going to get top and mid inhib potentially.
So this 4-man unit could look to play away from the Alawi or could look to group on the Alawi. They will group and look for this inhib. And Leona Solar Flare will miss, but the Alawi E will catch the soul. They can chip that, and we'll see if blue wants to follow them out and look for anything, because if red just gets away unscathed here, it's just
that's
rough
tough.
for
I
blue.
think they, you know, I don't know if they knew that the Olaf was making his way towards Dragon, but I think based off of that, that was their chance to make a 5v4 play onto the team, on a red team as they're backing out of their base, but they let him go scot-free, and now it looks like Olaf's going to make his way to Dragon and potentially get that as well.
Olaf taking
no,
red
here
buff,
comes the
red
TP.
TP onto the delivery man. He gets tagged by an Olaf Q. Should not be enough to just kill him. Unless Olaf really overcommits here, he'll be forced back and yeah, I think red team wants to play for Drake now, as it is it is spawn. It's just they're looking for what they can get before they go to Drake.
So was that TP play looking to say, okay, if we get Hecarim, the dragon is free?
Yes, I think so. And it was an Alawi TP. Alawi wants to be in the bot lane pressuring, right? So she's already kind of going to where she needs to be. And it's a tempo TP in the sense that you're saving time walking the lane by TPing, and the time that you're saving, they have to deal with the supers that you created in top and mid.
So
And while they're
free.
dealing with that, you are already pressuring bot. So
Yeah.
Alawi is half TPing to help with the Hecarim play, but also just hitting this bot turret as fast as possible to keep the pressure up.
We like what we see here. It seems like McMaster's University has come to play.
That's right.
In LSS Season 2. Looking real good right now. They just picked up their third Drake. It's going to be an Ocean Soul next in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Does Kent State have what it takes to bring this game back? It's only 6-9, but I'm not going to lie, McMaster's University looking real good.
They are looking good, but we see the Ryze wave clear. Ryze can one combo this wave, as we see. It gets cleared out there, and now there's no siege here for red team. So because you have a Ryze, he can deal with waves extremely well. He's a bit behind the curve. He could have a little bit more CS, maybe a kill or two, and be working on his second item, which would help him clear the minions better. But as long as Kenny is alive, they can defend this base attack. It's just all about this red wave and how fast Ryze can kill it. We might see a shockwave on the wave, because once the Ryze EQ, one more wave's gone, it's tough to siege that, right? They need to, I think they want to draw blue team, you know, to different parts of the map, or just, you know, take soul and play the long game. But this five-man push on the mid, or I'm sorry, on bot.
Yeah, they're just trying to take advantage of these super waves pushing down top and mid, and they're just standing right in front of
I
the
think they
tower.
could now. There's no Ryze here, right? So
Nope,
now is
there
their
comes
moment
the
that they could
Shockwave.
go in. We see Solar Flare lands on multi-member. Shockwave scoops up the Gragas. That's one kill. It's going to be a 5v4. Can blue team defend? Counterarc's going low. That's a great Gale Force Misfortune Ultimate. Putting it on a show for us to see. That is how it is done. Try, have you ever seen that?
I have not seen that. I don't think I've seen Misfortune with Gale Force, but it seems like Gale Force we've seen in both games now on ADCs that I don't generally think take Gale Force.
Well, with Misfortune, if you Gale Force an R immediately, it will start the R behind where you Gale Force to, and then like it will spread more. Like the R channel is behind you, so since you're further, it will like it cones more. I don't know exactly why.
So, but like then what's the point of Gale Forcing forward?
To spread it more, like your cone is like this when you R, but if you Gale Force R, it goes like this. Like if we could see it again somehow, we can rewind it.
We can rewind it.
I mean, that would be maybe
worry about
stuff.
it later.
Okay.
But I'm still